Maya matire modoge mane makwa tu peke yangu. Maya gotire modoge ogie hota kofia. All about it's me and myself and I. This is Joki airing today, and she's airing in English. Today I'm gonna try to speak English, even though English is my second language. And I'm gonna try. I'm not gonna promise, but I'm gonna try. English is my second language, and I'm going to try and speak English today. How are you guys doing today? Today we are just talking about this great topic. Do you know the great topic that I'm going to talk about today? Today I'm just talking about the importance of a parent. A parent is important, very important. I hope you understand the importance of having a parent and how important it is to always respect your parents. Always respect your parents. Actually, even the Bible tells us to honor our parents because that is the will of God. Yes, and we parents also have a responsibility. And our responsibility as parents is to never make these children. Don't worry, that's wardrobe malfunction. When wardrobe malfunctions, that is also maendeleo. Hiyo ni maendeleo. Si hata Jennifer Lopez alitoa nini? Bra yake ilitoka kwa stage. So, what do we say? That is just fine. That is just fine. Things happen and we are good. Catherine Ruto, good to see you. How are you doing? That is okay. We are very much okay. Nothing is stopping. We are gonna go ahead and talk about the great show. Catherine, karibu sana. Good to see you. How are you doing today? That is just the malfunction of the studio, huh? And we are still on key. We are still going to go ahead and address this important topic. And before I go ahead, I want to give it a shout out to this manager of mine that is called Lix Oshuodo. Lix Oshuodo, I want to say thank you very much. There is a person also behind this show that is usually on their knees praying for it, and that is Pastor Natch. And thank you for always praying for this show to air well. I cannot forget to say thank you to my fans and my husband. My husband allows me to come on Facebook and do what I have to do, talk all the things that I need to talk about. And without him giving me the permission, I would not make it to this show tonight. So I want to say thank you to my husband for giving me the opportunity to come here and shout out and say whatever I have to say, speak my opinion, my mind, because this is nothing but my mind. And this is a great topic today. We are going to talk about how important a parent is in our lives, because sometimes we take parents for granted. And then when they are gone, that is when we start crying, coming with very beautiful dresses, coming with very nice attire, very nice casket, very beautiful show. You put a show for this, for everybody to see how your parent is important to you, but you don't recognize them while they are still alive. So I want to address today the importance of a parent. Today, all we are talking about is the importance of a parent. A parent is very, very important to us. And before I even go further, I want to dedicate this. I want to dedicate this song to my mother Jabi. I want to dedicate this song to her. She might not even know that I'm doing this. She might not even be aware because my mother is an old lady. But the most important thing is that she is still, the Holy Spirit is going to interpret. I have no right to play this music. It's by Lois Kim, and I'm going to go ahead and play it. So hang on. Hang on, hang on, hang on. I'm going to pray this song in dedication to my parents and all the parents out there. Mother-in-law, the parents out there, myself, and all the good parents. You, Catherine, and all the fans out there. I'm dedicating this song to you. Lucy, my friend, how are you doing? Good to see you. I know your mom is not there, but let's dedicate this even when she's gone. She can hear it through the spirit. Aha. Yes. Yeah. Hey, Sasa, good to see you. Yeah, that's Lois Kim. I have no rights to the music. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh. I wish God could just bless one person from this house of my mother. We are getting there, guys. We live by faith. Waiting is not shaking. Hey, eating bad cannot stop you eating good. Yay. Mm-hmm. Wish somebody would be blessed from this house so we are not being pointed or laughed at. How many play like that? And once they get their way, they forget their parents that have struggled. Baba Jackie, how are you doing? Today I'm speaking in English. I'm gonna try. You know, English is my second language, but I'm gonna try. But I'm dedicating this song to all the parents, and especially my own mother. Hey, hubby, I see you. Good to see you, hubby. Thank you for your support. Hey, thank you. Thank you for your support. Always. Yay. Thank you guys for watching this and listening to the song. That song I was dedicating to my mother and all the parents out there, because we are all parents, I think, pray that one of the family member would get a blessing to a point where they would uplift each other. They would uplift the other people. So today I chose to speak about your parent, and especially your mother. Not just your mother, but also your father, but fathers are not as dedicated as the mothers are. They are fathers who eat and sleep well while their kids have no school fees, and they are okay with that. It's very hard for a mother to sleep knowing their their kids are not settled wherever they are. It's very hard unless it's some kind of a situation or some kind of a abnormality somewhere, or some disappointments also with the kids, because we have children that disappoint us. But today I wanted to talk about, I decided to talk in English this topic because I said every other week I will be addressing my topic in English, and I decided that I should include, especially like Baba Jackie was here, and other people that are not the non-Kikuyu people. And sometimes the message is better delivered in my own mother tongue. It's well understood, and it's easily understood in my mother tongue. But today I decided to talk about the importance of a parent. The importance of a parent. And the Bible says in Proverb 10 verses 1, it says, a wise son walking with alignment to the word of God. And also we hear a lot and again people talking about the wise son, or a child that is wise is a pride to the father. Hey, hi David. David Cash. Wow, David Cash. My goodness, you have some cash money, you can give it to us. That'd be nice. Hey, that's an interesting name. But thank you for tuning in. We often hear about a child that is wise. A foolish child is an embarrassment to the mother. It brings sorrow to the mother. But a wise son brings joy to the father. What does that really mean? A mother carries a child for 9 months. A mother bears the pain of a child. And that is why you see most of the time, people don't understand, and even fathers sometimes don't understand how a child can stray away for so many years, so long, do all kind of things, and a mother will still have some mercy on that child. A mother will still reach out to that child. A mother will still take that child back as many times as she can. Many fathers don't understand, because it's the mother that bears the pain of a child. And that is why the Bible says a foolish child brings sorrow to the mother. Not just being foolish in education. It's not just being foolish that this child doesn't understand anything. This means a child that is not settled brings sorrow to the mother. And that is why we often see, like, families that have divorced and parted ways from each other. They often, the father takes so much pride when they hear their child is doing so good. You even see they were not talking for so many years. They were distant. They had no relationship. The father did not even raise this child. But the moment the child does good, you hear the father claiming that child. You hear the father telling everybody how proud. Oh, you want to see my child? This is my son. This is my daughter. Because they are doing so well. Because that's what the Bible says. Because fathers, they do not know how, not they do not know, but most of the time they take pride when the kids are grown, when the kids are doing good. That is when they want to show off with this child. And a mother is interested with this child, whether a child is doing good and a child is doing bad. The mother is there. Yes, of course, even the mother would like to be proud and showing off with the child, but a mother, very rare, a mother neglects their own child. Because there is a thing in Kikuyu that we say, dayumaga muishi, neko ima murogi. A stomach can produce a witch person, and it can also produce a king. It can produce either or. And when I said that we should respect our parents as our second God, besides God, the other most important person in your life is your parents. Many of us in diaspora, we have come far away from home, and we promised back home. There are people, they know very well that their parent could barely put food on the table, but they chose to sell. If it's that cow that produced income, if it's that goat that produced some income, if it's the chicken that produced eggs and they sold to the market, if it's that small garden that they had coffee plantation or tea plantation or miwa, whatever it was, they did not give it away for the sake of your child, for the sake of you and I. And we promised our families, we promised and especially our parents, we promised them that I will not let you down, mom or dad. Whatever you do for me, I will not let you down. Once I get to Dubai, once I get to UK, once I get to Germany, once I get to America, I will try to uplift everybody else. The moment you landed and your mother or your father, let's say your mother, because for those parents that have raised their kids single-handed, they said they did whatever they could. I don't care what the mother did. Some mothers even struggled and did whatever. Some sold even in the clubs, even in the market, whatever they did. They did that to make sure that you stand on your feet. And the moment you landed to whatever country you landed to, you said, see ya. And especially here in diaspora, especially here in America, where we watch Jerry Springer and we see kids taking their parents to court. We see kids, they have copied this American lifestyle where they can stand in front of the judge with their parents and they are suing them for this and that, and you forgot where your parent got you from. You forgot that you stand on your feet because your parent gave everything up. They gave their lives up. They gave their fun up. They gave the trips they could have been making to Jamaica, Hawaii, and other places just for your sake. And here you land to America, the land of milk and honey. And you forget all that. The respect you used to give to your mother or your father, it's all gone down the drain. Today you can talk whichever language you see people talk on the street, on the TV, the F words, whatever. That's the language you use on your parents. You are under a curse. I don't care who tells you. I don't care who advises you. Susan Matidi, karibu sana. I don't care who your advisors are. We carry a very strong tradition. And I understand, yes, we have somehow become Americanized, Europeanized, if there is such a word, Dubanized, Germanized, catalyzed, Chinized, Japanized, whatever place you went to, Australianized. You have been in that country for so long that you have changed your way of thinking. You have transformed yourself to a point where you forgot there is a tradition. It doesn't matter whether you are born from a family of, whether you are born from two mixed families, you have blood that you carry with you that has the DNA of your tradition. And disrespect to your tradition is a curse to yourself. I don't know. There are people who don't believe in curses. There are people who don't believe in tradition. But unfortunately, they catch up with you one way or the other. We are the same people that promised our parents that I will take you out of that wooden house. I will take you out of that mud house. My mother, when I go to America, I will do A, B, C, D. And your life is now become me, myself, and I. If you are driving the blood new cars, zero mileage cars, while your parents are living in a house that rains inside. You are the same person that promised that once you land in the land of milk and honey, you will help your parents educate your brothers and sisters that you left back home. And today you forgot. You said, I have my own life to live. Yes, we understand you have your own life to live. But remember your very beginnings. There are footsteps that you need to track. Track your footsteps that you have missed. Tradition are very important. Yes, there are some traditions we don't carry with us. And there are some tradition that whether you carry or not, they follow you. And they have a lot of impact on your life as a person. It doesn't matter how you have adapted to that lifestyle of that country where you went to. It doesn't matter. I keep saying and I keep telling people, John Ngai karibu sana. I keep saying and I keep telling people, it's not everything that is copied wherever you go. There are some good things you copy and there are some bad things you see and you say, this is not for our tradition. We did not grow like this. This was not the norm from how I grew up. Even today, and I keep saying, and I tell my kids the same, there are some things I cannot tell my parents. There are some words that will not come out of my mouth when I'm talking to my parents. I don't care how much westernized I have become. Some people have been educated so much, and some of your education and your some of your degrees that you have gotten, if it was not even if your mother did or your father did not give you the money for the school fees, they prayed for you. They stood with you. They supported you 100% to a point where you are able to stand and support yourself. But you got to a point where you are too educated now to be told anything. Your parents cannot make a sentence. They make no sense in your life. Whenever they talk, you are looking at them like, idiot, what are you saying? You're feeling like they don't belong. There are people who will not even introduce their parents to anybody because they feel like their class is a little bit higher than that of their parents. There are people who are so much ashamed to even say, this is my mother, this is my father. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how educated you became. It doesn't matter what kind of a position you hold in your job. It doesn't matter who got married to you or who married you. It doesn't matter how many kids you got and what their position are in life. But there is a footstep that you missed, and you need to follow your roots. Otherwise, you are under a curse. You might make all the money you make. You can make a lot of money. Your bank can be loaded with a lot of money. But unless you track your roots back and respect your parents, that you talk anyhow to them, you will never have peace. There are people who are making good money, but they are not sleeping comfortably. They have no peace. They have no peace at all. They cannot even sleep. They cannot even enjoy their money because they are under a curse. They are haunted. It's like the ghosts appear in the middle of their sleep because they never track their footsteps where they have lost it. They never track back and go and try to solve what they have caused their parents, because parents might forgive their kids. There are words that once they come out of your mouth, they can never be put back. They can never go back. And there are some words that you shouldn't even say. There are some words that should never be uttered by your mouth. There are some words, once they're out, and even once you apologize, they cause harm. They cause that heartache in your mother or your father. And it's a wound. It's a wound. And you say it another time and another time. It's a wood that you keep pricking on that wood. You pick and pick on that wood. And it starts oozing again. The tears that parents make inside, silent tears, because of the heartache that have been brought to them by their own kids. They haunt you. They do haunt you in life. When I said your parent is like your second God, it is in the Bible that children need to honor and respect their parents so their days would be long. Not like having the way some people may interpret, especially if they don't understand the Bible. They may think the day is 24 hours, so the day might be 36 hours. That's not what I'm talking about. It's so that you will have a fruitful life, a happy life, a long life. A long life that is full of joy. But you might have a long life that is full of heartaches. You might have money that you never enjoy. You might make a lot of money and you don't know where your money goes because you are under a curse. Jane Kamoyo, karibu sana. You are under a curse. It's always good to track your footsteps and try to figure out where you missed a step. Your parent is very important in life. Respecting your parent, whether they are able, whether they are not, whether you're too educated and now your parents are so uneducated, they are so primitive, they make no sense in your life, they cannot speak a word of English. Mary Kabata karibu sana. Your parent cannot speak a word of English, and now because you're so educated, you have PhD, you have masters, you have associate degree, you have diploma, and now you are so educated, you make a lot of money, and your parents makes no sense in your life. And now you look down on your parents like they don't exist, and how much they struggled for you to make it to make sure that you stand on your 2 feet, and now you're disrespectful to your parent. You are under a curse, and it's time to make peace with your parents. We come here and we watch the TV, we watch on Judge Judy, Jerry Springer, and we are ready to make that step to the judge and say, oh, my parent did this and that. I want to sue my parent for this and that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And you want to sue your parent and take your parent before the judge. Hey. Seriously? And you talk about a fruitful life. You expect to have a fruitful life. You will be jumping like, you will be walking around like Cain and never know where you are headed to because you are confused, because you are under a curse. Your parent might not tell you you are under a curse, but God judges you. You cannot, just because the American kids, the Western kids are talking the way they talk sometimes there are those kids who talk anyhow, not just kids, even adults talking anyhow to their parents. It does not make okay for you to pick on that kind of lifestyle. I said there are things when you go, they say when you go to Rome, do what Romans do. It does not apply all the time. It does not mean pick everything that every Tom, Dick, and Harry do. That is why you have common sense. And some of you are too educated to even understand that. Some education sometimes it's almost like it makes you have a dada head. Like your head, you have a head, but that head is empty. You are not thinking. That is how some feel. Because when you think about the life that you walked with your parents and the promises you made to your parents before you could fight and die for your parents, today you hear somebody ganging up to kill your parents. You will even support them more to kill your parents. You gang along with people that want to hurt your parents because you feel like you hate them. This is not of God. It is not of God. It's the enemy. The enemy is telling you that your parents don't count in life. They cannot tell you nothing. These are not the days that my mom used to tell me this and that. These are not the days my dad used to think I was young. Yes, I'm still young. As far as I'm concerned, I'm still a baby in my mother's hands. When she talks, I'm quiet. When she tells me, Jockey, this road is going to take you to hell, or this road is not a good road to follow, I will not tell her, MapQuest says this. My mother is better than MapQuest. That's what I know. As far as life is concerned, I believe my mother is my MapQuest. My GPS is my mother. You need to track back. You need to follow the road you passed and see if you got somewhere to a point where you are trapped by the things of this world. You are trapped, mind-wise, to think that your worst enemy is your mother or your father. The worst enemy you have in life is your father or mother. They don't make sense. When they say anything, they're primitive. They think these are the old days in the 20s when they used to do this and that. What has changed? Other than cell phones, other than I can come here and talk to you on network. What has changed as far as the behavior and respect that the Bible tells us to respect our parents, that our days will be long? Isn't it the same people, the same parents that carried us for 9 months, mother? The mother that carried you, went to clinic to make sure that you come out right? Spent hours in the labor where they could have aborted you. They had choice to abort you, but they didn't. And you're now asking, you chose to bring me in this world. It's your problem. You dare talk like that to your mother or your father? You are under a curse. And we parents, we also should model what God says. We should not provoke our kids to anger. How do we provoke our kids to anger? How do we do that? Being a parent in absentia, You don't know what your kid eats, yet you spend hours and hours in the club. The beer, you know the cost of beer. You don't know the cost of the food that your child eats. You don't know the cost of the school fees that the kid pays at school. You don't know the size of your kids' shoes or any dress they wear, because the last time you bought them a dress was 10 years ago or none. That is provoking kids to anger. And whether you believe it or not, and I'm one of them that doesn't believe it, you are responsible, and you cannot curse your kids because you did not raise those kids. You have a responsibility to make it before God. Your kids are not under a curse if they choose to depart from you, because you have a responsibility as a parent to raise your kids. Whether you parted ways with your spouse, whether you parted ways with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, I don't care. Whether they died, I don't care. And you step parents that come in the lives of those kids that have lost their moms or their dad, and you don't want those kids to be fed. You don't want those kids to eat like your kids. When your kids are eating a kilogram of meat, you want the other kid to eat doma and gouache. Yes, it's healthy, I understand. But you want your kids to eat sausage every day, but you want the other person kid to eat some boiled stuff in the morning, because they did not come to the world the same way your kids came from, the same way your kids came. Shame on you. Shame on you. I keep saying and I keep telling people, be careful, because what you do unto others, it's paid in this world. It comes back to you. The plant you plant on others, it will be planted for you. The trap you trap others with, it will be trapped for you. But nowadays we are living in a life where nobody cares. It's me and I and myself. As long as I'm walking and I'm okay, I don't care what happens behind me, on the side or ahead of me, I don't care. That is the life we are living now. We parents are not worried about what we are bringing to our kids, the karma or the generational curses we are bringing to our kids. We don't care. And that is why you see fathers impregnating this woman, that woman, and abandoning them, not caring that their own daughters or their own sons or their own grandchildren will experience the same, because they'll be at the lineage of a curse. Because we are living in the world of me, and myself and I. That is why you see a lot of people don't care. They do things they don't care because it's about me. The kids will cater for themselves. We need to care about our kids. We need to care about the generation to come. The table you lay for them is very important. The way you set your table for them, it's very important. But if you only think about yourself, you don't think about how your kids are gonna grow, how your kids, you especially the step parents, how you don't care about the other child if they went to school or dropped out because your husband or your wife is your wife, and the other, if she doesn't allow you to pay for the school fees for the other kid, it's okay for you, the husband, and you're just there like a dad ahead, and you're told that your kid don't count in life and you're okay with that? Seriously? That child you cannot curse. You cannot curse that child. If you had the know-how and you had the power, you had the strength, you had the resources to take care of that child, and you did not, they are not under a curse. You did not fulfill your godly responsibilities. But I honor and respect men who, no matter what, they understand. It is not the kid's desire, and it was not the kid's fault. It was not the kid's fault that you parted ways. These kids still need support. They need to grow. I respect the men who still understand that, and who still do whatever they have to do to make sure that their kids are growing in the right way. I know sometimes men have this thing, especially if they were trapped and they got a kid. Well, you fell on the trap. If you didn't go to that lady or whoever without the right equipment, you didn't have protection, and you went bare, without nothing. What do you expect? Don't be mad. The only person to blame is yourself. Because most men say, I was trapped. I did not really want a kid. I was trapped. The moment you went there without any protection, you knew that there could be a child be born. Yeah? You knew it, and you chose to go anyway. You chose to enjoy that moment of your own desires. And there comes a child. You neglect a child and abandon the child. It's sad. You cannot curse that child. And if you would, it would be very, very selfish. And that time, those are the kind of fathers or mothers that come back and say, those are the ones that are being told, a foolish child brings sorrow to the mother, and a wise child brings joy to the pride to the father. The father that was never there. The father that never knew the price of the food that kid ate on the table. But when they do good, oh, you want to see my child? You want to know I have a child in Dubai? I have a child in Kakamega? Yeah. It does not, raising a child is not just, I have a child. It's pouring the resources that is needed. It's dying with that child, whether your spouse like it or not. As far as your spouse is concerned, they just want to be catered for. They are selfish. They forget that their children also might experience the same karma, one way or the other. They don't put themselves in the same shoes, and they think life is about now. Those are the kind of people that I'm talking about, that are selfish. It's having a selfish attitude. It's nothing else. So I want to address those parents and those children. Parents, you have a responsibility to make. Children, honor your mother and your father and your days. Wale wa maigwa karibu sana. Honor your mother and your father, and your days will be long. Do not be short-sighted to think that the westernized way of the way kids talk to the parents is okay. It's not okay. We have a tradition to follow. We have been brought up different. We know the respect that we need to give to our parents. And we cannot copy everything we see in the Western countries. We cannot copy everything we see. There are some things to copy, and there are some things that you don't need to copy. And it calls for common sense, although they say common sense is not common to all. It's very, very important to think about the plant that you want to put on the ground. If you want to put a plant that is full of respect for your parents, your days will be fruitful. Every time you walk out of that house, you will experience nothing but blessings. You will enjoy life in fullness. But you cannot disrespect your parents. Every word that is said on the street by the drug addict people, by alcoholics, and you're a normal person, unless you really are not normal anymore, then you start talking like that. There are some words that your parents should never hear come out from your mouth. It's better, and even the Bible tells us, do not be too quick to speak, because in the multitude of words, there is sin. In so many words that you speak, there is going to be sin. I love the child that keeps quiet when there is conflict. Because you don't know what is inside. You don't know what is inside. And when you don't know what is inside, at least you know they didn't hurt you. But when you're like, there's those children always feeling like they have to talk back. They have to say something. Because the mother said this, now they have to say something. The Bible is telling us to not be too quick to speak. Watch your mouth and watch how your words come out. Means it's better you mince your words. Yes. Remember, you're talking to your parents. You're not talking to your age mates. And a cry of a mother, a cry of a hurting mother, painful words that come. Chepkemoi, Janet, how are you doing? Good to see you. Been a long time, girl. Yes, the words that come out of your mouth, the sad moments that you have given to your mother and your father, they haunt you. They haunt your kids. And especially this generation, not just this generation. I've seen older kids, yet, and I said again and again, and I keep saying it. Just because you're making that money you're making, that the money speaks for you, it does not make sense for you to talk back to your parents anyhow. Just because the help that you needed when you went to that place you went, just because you got to that place and got on your feet, does not make you a different person. You still need to respect your parents. I keep saying there are those families that now, because there is this the person in the family is the one, you know, like the Lois Kim, the way she says, there are those that have been blessed from that family. And now because they have been blessed, everybody, they are stepping on everybody's toe in the family. No one can even sneeze in that family. The moment they sneeze, oh, what do you want, Jockey? What do you want, so-and-so? Yeah? How do you want us to do this? Nobody makes sense in that family. Just because you are educated does not make everybody else dumb. Does not make even those uncles of yours or aunties of yours, it does not make them dumb that they cannot advise you anymore because you went to school and got your master's and got your PhD and got your degree, whatever diploma you got or certificate. It does not make the rest of the people dumb, that nobody can tell you what to do. Nobody, everybody worship you because you are the one that is a breadwinner in your family, or you are the one that is, every decision that has to be made, even when you know nothing about it, you are being consulted for something that you don't even know, that you don't even understand how it goes. A kid is being, a son is being circumcised in the family. You are being consulted and you don't even know what takes place in the circumcision business, in the rituals of circumcision. But because you are the one that makes all the decisions at home, you are being consulted even when they are digging the toilet at home. Yet you don't even know how many feet are needed for the toilet to stand for so many years. You don't know nothing, yet you are being consulted. Just because you are being consulted for everything doesn't make you their God. Calm down, chill. Money comes and goes. Money comes and goes. Yes, you might have a fountain of money, fountain of income, but how do you know that you're going to live to eat that money? How do you live that your body will carry you to that money? Respect your parents, that your days will be long. Stop talking anyhow to your parents. They are not your children. They are your parents. Whether they barely speak a word of English, whether they barely went to standard 4 or standard 2, I don't care. what level of education they have. They are your parents. Have respect for your parents. Just because you're making the decisions in the family, and now your mom cannot even finish a statement before you interrupt them and tell them, no, that is not how it is done, because you feel that you are educated, you feel like they know nothing, they are so primitive. All of a sudden, they have become primitive. But before, you consulted them for everything. When they went to sell that cow, you did not see the primitive in them. You did not see that. The moment they called everybody in the village to come and give 10 shillings here and 100 shillings here so you can get a ticket to go, you did not see them being primitive. But all of a sudden, now you stand on your feet. Your parents are your best enemies, worst enemies. If you're looking for an enemy, that is the person you're going to call your enemy. You are under a curse. Respect your family, respect your mother, respect your father, so your days can be long. And you parents, you have a responsibility. You have your responsibility. If you engage, especially if you have lost a spouse or you have divorced your spouse and now you have engaged with people and your kids are old, you need to train those spouses that you have kids. They respect your kids. If not, they walk. They walk away. Because your kids are your blood. They are not the separable. They cannot be separated. They either respect them, love them, or pretend to love them, because some spouses will pretend to love the kids, yet if they get a moment to poison them, give them some ugali with the poison inside, they will do that. God forbid. Because whatever you do unto other child, there is this woman that I think there was the story kakagara something. Anyway, to make the story short, she wanted to poison I think there were two women married to the same man, and they had two girls that slept on the same bed. So one woman wanted to poison the other woman's kid, and when they went to poison, when they tried to kill the other woman, they knew every night. I think most of you know very much about this story. And there is a side of bed that each one of them used to sleep every night. So every night this Waja will sleep on the right side, and every night our boy will sleep on the other side by the wall. So this woman knew, I need to poison Waja, so I know Waja sleeps by the edge, not by the wall. So that night it happened that they traded possession. So the one that was being poisoned slept by the wall. The one that was to be poisoned slept by the wall, and the one that was to be spared slept by the edge of the bed in the front. So when this woman was picking the one to poison, she poisoned the one by the edge, her own daughter, her own kid. And that is what happens in the real life. The person that you want bad things to happen to, it turns out that you are digging your own hole. You're digging your own grave. When you want another person dead, it's your own grave that you're digging, because God does not like evil. You cannot do bad on another person, child, and expect yours to enjoy life. For those step parents that are out there that know their spouses have kids way out there, and they don't want anything to do with that child, you're calling it to your own home, calling it to your own children, in your own grandchildren, if not your children, your great-great-grandchildren. But it comes back one way or the other. Let us wish people good, because the good you do comes back to you. The bad you do comes back to you. Do not try to poison another person's child while you poison your own. Karma is bad. It comes back to you. My parting shot, respect your parents. I don't care how far you have gone with your education. I don't care what business you have performed and it's trading so well. I don't care what position, what managerial position you are in right now, whether you are the boss of a whole 5,000 employees company. I don't care. Your parent is your second God. Respect your parent so your days will be long. My mother today, I would not say a word that would hurt her. Never, never, never. Respect your parents, and you parents, do what you have to do, perform your duties, your parental duties, no matter where your children are, they are your children. Look for them and support them. But I want to say that it's always, always a good harvest to honor your parents. It feels good to know that your parent, instead of crying in bed, so-and-so said bitter words to me, and now I cannot fall asleep, instead of them having a heavy heart on you, which only comes back to attack you, it comes back to haunt you. Let your parents sleep on that prayer. God bless so-and-so. I love so-and-so. Let your parents have a good word on you, whether they are sleeping or they are awake. Again, I want to thank all of you guys for spending time to watch me tonight, and all those that will watch me tonight or in other days to come. I want to thank you so much ahead of time. I want to say thank you to Mr. Oshuodo. I want to say thank you to Pastor Nech. Ivan, I hope you're feeling much better. And I want to say thank you to my husband. I want to say thank you. And I want to say thank you, my fan, my sister, Margaret Kego Jenga, all the way in Gong. I want to say I love you so much. Mwah. I want to say thank you, my sister. Hang on, I love you so much. I want to say I love my sister in love in Logai. Her name is Duta. And the babies, I love you guys. I love you guys. I love you guys. I want to say I love this girlfriend of mine from long time ago. Her name is Bexy. Bexy in Roiro. I want to say I love you so much. I want to say I love my mother, Jabi. I love you so much wherever you are. God bless you so much, guys. And come again next week. We will have a beautiful topic. God bless you so